Good evening, Houston. Thank, thanks so much for being here at tonight's virtual design update meeting for the Fondren Paving and Drainage Project. I'm Kenya Williams with Houston Public Works, and I'm excited to connect with you all. Tonight, we're diving into some design updates that will improve the safety and mobility for Fondren Road. This project was designed with you in mind, and your voice matters to us. We want to hear your thoughts, answer your questions, and work together to build a stronger, more resilient Houston. Before we jump in, we kindly ask you hold all your questions until the end of the presentation. We want to make sure you get all the info you need, and many of your questions might be answered along the way. Plus, saving your questions for the Q&A means we can keep things flowing smoothly. Don't worry, we've reserved plenty of time at the end just for you to get the answers you're looking for. Thanks so much for your cooperation. Now, let's get started. This project is in one of the most engaged and forward-thinking parts of our city. District K, proudly represented by the phenomenal Mayor Pro Tem Martha Casix Tatum. Before we get into tonight's design updates, we're honored to welcome someone who works tirelessly behind the scenes to support District K every day. Mayor Pro Tem Casix Tatum's Chief of Staff, Dee Dee Chavis. Dee Dee, we'd love to hear you share a few words with us.
Thank you, Kenya. And on behalf of Mayor Pro Tem Martha Castex Tatum, I'm so honored to be here. Thank you all for being here. Mayor Pro Tem Castex Tatum regrets she could not be here. She is traveling overseas. I am also joined this evening by our newly appointed Director of Constituent Services, Mr. Eric D. Goodwine. And we're so glad that you guys took the time to meet to see the update on the Fondren project. We want to thank Houston Public Works for coordinating this virtual community meeting and look forward to the design update, and also look forward to hearing from you and your feedback. On behalf of Mayor Pro Tem Martha Castex Tatum, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Dee Dee. We're also joined this evening by a key leader from Houston Public Works, Assistant Director Tanu Harmith. She plays an important role in helping bring community-centered projects like this one to life. Now she's here to introduce the talented project team working behind the scenes to make this vision a reality. Please welcome Assistant Director Tanu Harmith.
Thank you, Kenya. Good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us tonight to receive this important information. It's my great pleasure to introduce my very hardworking team. From the city team, we have Anna Clifton, who is our project manager, Ravida, who is our team lead, Sherry Kang, who's the managing engineer over the entire team, and we also have our engineering consultants, Marcel and Raj Tanvani, joining us today. Thanks, you, Kenya. Light back to you.
Thanks, Tanu. Here's what's in store for tonight's presentation. First, we'll dive into the details of the project. Then we'll bring you up to speed on the latest design updates and what's coming next. And finally, we'll wrap things up with a Q&A session where you'll have the chance to get your questions answered. So let's get started. This transformative paving and drainage project involves the construction of a 4-lane divided concrete roadway, upgrades to traffic signal intersections, new stormwater and water line systems, and wastewater lines. Backed by a $50 million budget, this project is currently in the design phase, with construction tentatively set to begin in 2027. Before construction starts, Houston Public Works will host a How to Prepare for Construction meeting to ensure the community is informed and ready. Leading this effort is our project manager, Anna Clifton. This project is a step forward in making our city stronger and safer, and we're excited to bring you along the journey. Now, to walk us through some exciting design updates, we're joined by Marcel Strand from STV Incorporated. Marcel and the team have been hard at work shaping a vision that reflects this community's needs. We're thrilled to have you with us tonight, Marcel. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Kenya. We appreciate that. The primary objectives for this 2.2-mile long project is to reconstruct our existing roadway and drainage system and provide a resilient and effective infrastructure, all while improving mobility and safety for all users, not only for vehicular, but also for pedestrians. Also, to maximize the utilization of various traffic control elements and devices. Now, the city intends to achieve these three primary goals by including the following within our project scope: a full depth reconstruction of the roadway, including the pavement, improving pedestrian amenities, improving intersection safety, upgrade to the traffic signals and equipment and improve the operational efficiency of it, improved street lighting, and provide a new and efficient storm sewer system within the project limits, as well as upgrading our wastewater lines and water line replacements as required. Now, to appreciate the improvements that will be made, it's good to take a look at the existing conditions. On this slide, we're seeing here a cross-sectional view of what the existing right-of-way width, the lane configuration and dimensions are for the southern section of our project. And that's roughly a 1-mile long segment that's between West Airport Boulevard all the way up to Sanford Drive. As you'll note here, it currently consists of 6 lanes with 4-foot wide sidewalks. In the next slide, which is the northern section of the project that's between Sanford Drive and Braeswood Boulevard. This typical section shows, again, in this case, a 4-lane segment, and that's currently what's out there. And again, showing or highlighting that it currently has 4-foot sidewalks along its perimeter. Now, in our next slide, we want to kind of take a look now at the proposed conditions. What will their typical roadway section look like? Well, for the southern segment, again, roughly 1 mile long, that's between Airport and Sanford Drive, we will be maintaining the existing 6-lane configuration. So essentially the same pavement footprint. But I want to draw your attention to that we're going to be providing some improvements as far as the sidewalks that are going to be abutting both sides of the right of way. We'll be proposing 6-foot nominal width sidewalks throughout. For the southern, or rather for the northern segment, again, roughly 1 mile long, that's between Sanford Drive and West Airport. Again, we'll be maintaining the same general footprint, a 4-lane configuration. But in this case, again, we'll be improving the sidewalk width for safety and providing a 6-foot wide sidewalks. Now, in our next slide, again, if we look at the conditions of the existing infrastructure, it's quite clear that improvements are necessary. It is indeed critical. We have throughout the project, currently broken segments of pavement, missing or substandard sections of sidewalk and pedestrian ramps, and a wealth of other issues that need to be improved upon. So in our next slide, here we're taking, it presents what the proposed footprint and the general alignment of the corridor will look like. Again, we're looking at the southern portion here. This is a section between West Airport Boulevard and Sanford Drive. And again, here we're going to be providing safety features. We're looking into the access management as far as our median openings. We know sometimes they can create various conflict points. So we're going to be looking at this, how we can optimize the existing locations for these areas, and providing additional left turn bays, which will improve safety by decreasing potential rear-end collisions and things like that, all with a view to improving the safety of the corridor. For the next slide, this presents in the same concept for the northern section. Again, we're maintaining the 4-lane configuration as is, and again, making provisions to optimize the locations of our median openings, and really controlling and monitoring the ingress of our left turn and one-way directional approaches. Now, in our next slide, as we reiterated, this kind of reiterates the scope, which will include traffic signal enhancement at 7 intersections. At Airport Boulevard intersection, Ludington, Belfort Avenue, Portal Drive, Creekbend, Willowbend, and at the Braeswood intersection with Fondren. In our next slide, this kind of highlights again that we want to be looking into providing pedestrian enhancements, and that will include, for example, directional ramps where available, improved pavement striping, appropriate advanced signage, traffic signals for both pedestrian and again for vehicular users as well. In our next slide, one of the improvements we're going to be definitely making is that to our drainage system, which will include buried storm sewer pipes and boxes. We call them RCBs, or reinforced concrete boxes, that will be resilient and provide the required capacity for the contributing storm runoff flows that come from the area. Now, these will be generally located underneath the traveling lanes as conveyed here for that southern section of our project. They will run parallel along the roadway and providing inline detention capacity. In our next slide, it depicts, in our following slide as well, it depicts what a section of this RCB, when we talk about these reinforced concrete boxes, what practical it looks like. And of course, these will be varying in sizes from a 3x3 or 3 foot wide by 3 foot deep up to 6 feet by 5 foot wide. So they're going to be really large, but for a good benefit. Again, really providing detention and improving the efficiency of the existing system. In our next slide, kind of highlights another improvement as it relates to the existing inlets that are there. We're going to replace them, provide a larger, more effective inlets, which will essentially get the water, the runoff underneath the ground a lot quicker than the current inlets are providing to date. In our next slide presents an overall planning metric of the horizontal location and the general outfall location of these proposed storm sewer trunk lines. Again, they mostly run along one half of the street, but at other times in our next slide, you'll see they may run in parallel along both the northbound and southbound sides of the street. Again, all of this is to increase drainage flow and provide better inlet placements, all with a view to improving not only the safety, but also the capacity and the level of service for the corridor. In this slide, we're presenting the overall plan metric and horizontal locations, approximately, again, all of this is subject to change, of the proposed water lines and sanitary lines for the corridor. We are proposing to replace the existing 20-inch diameter water line with a new 20-inch water line along the entire length of the 2-mile corridor. In our final slide, or second to last slide, the next two, in addition to the water line, by the way, we'll also be replacing sanitary sewer laterals or service leads where or as needed. Now, when we talk about the project schedule, as we're looking now at the next slide here, it is good to understand from the city's perspective what the project seasons mean, and that right there kind of highlights it. Winter covers from January to March, spring, April to June, summer, July to September, and fall, October to December. So as it relates to our project schedule, we have commenced design for the project, as we had conveyed in our various typical sections, and so we're in the preliminary phases right now. Final design is slated to be completed in the latter part of summer. And of course, our construction, as it stands now, we anticipate that commencing roughly in fall of 2027 and through to the summer of 2029. So this highlights the general concept and what we're planning for this project. At this time, we'll give our attention back to Kenya.
Thank you, Marcel. Thank you for those updates. Very informative. Thank you again. So going back to the next steps. This project is currently in the design phase with the final design to be completed in summer of 2027. Construction is expected to begin in that fall, with the full project scheduled to wrap up by summer of 2029. It's a long-term investment, and we're committed to keeping you informed and involved every step of the way. So, again, as Marcel stated, our project seasons are as follows. Winter is January, February, March. Spring, April, May, June. Summer, July, August, September. And fall is October, November, December. This project, again, construction is expected to kick off in fall of 2027. That's between October and December, and wrap up by summer of 2029, giving us about a year and a half to complete the work, weather permitting, of course. Want to learn more? Dive deeper into the project by visiting engagehouston.org. There, you can explore detailed project info and take a closer look at the exhibits we shared today. While you're there, don't forget to register and join the conversation. Your questions, comments, and feedback are always welcomed. Each project page is packed with helpful information like key project overview, a map of the area it impacts, and most importantly, why it matters to you and your community. We're always here for you. Got questions or concerns during the project? No worries, we've got your back. Need help fast? Just call 311 anytime. Prefer email? Reach out to us directly at engage@houstontx.gov. We love hearing from you. Your feedback keeps us moving in the right direction, so let's stay connected. Before we wrap up, a big thank you. Let's take a moment to show some love to the incredible individuals and teams who made tonight possible. A huge thank you to Dee Dee Chavis and District K for their unwavering support. They make a difference every day. Shout out to our dedicated project team for their hard work and commitment to improving our community. And let's not forget our amazing public engagement team for making this meeting seamless and engaging. But most importantly, thank you. Your time, attention, and participation mean the world to us. Now, we have one small favor. Spread the word. Share what you've learned with your friends and neighbors, and keep our community informed and empowered. It's Q&A time. One of the best parts about being here tonight, you get exclusive real-time answers from our incredible project team. This is your moment to ask, clarify, and get the details straight from the experts. So don't be shy, fire away. And to lead us through this interactive session, I'm thrilled to introduce someone who knows how to keep the conversation flowing. Ryan Perlman from our outstanding public engagement team. Take it away, Ryan.
Thank you for the intro, Kenya. Greetings, everyone. I'm Ryan Perlman with Houston Public Works, and thank you for joining us tonight for tonight's virtual meeting in regards to the Fondren Rd, Braeswood to Creekbend, and to West Airport project. Welcome to the Q&A session. This is your opportunity to connect with our team, ask questions, and share your thoughts about this project. Your input is incredibly valuable, and we're looking forward to hearing from you. Submitting a question is simple. Just follow these steps. Click the Q&A icon on the right-hand side of your screen. It looks like a speech bubble with a question mark. Type your question into the text box and hit send. You can submit questions anonymously, but we encourage you to include your name and email, especially if your question may need follow-up. While we wait for your questions to come in, just a quick reminder, tonight's Q&A isn't the end of the conversation. If you feel, or if you think of something later, feel free to join us at engagehouston.org. With that being said, that opens the Q&A session, so let's begin. All right, let's see. Okay, first question. Why does this project matter? All right, I think I could take this one. The Fondren Paving and Drainage Project is about bringing long overdue upgrades to one of Houston's key corridors. Smoother roads, improved drainage, safer sidewalks, and better access for residents and stakeholders. These improvements are designed to make everyday travel more reliable and safer, especially during heavy rain events and peak traffic hours. To follow the progress of this project and others, visit engagehouston.org and subscribe to the project page. You'll be notified whenever new updates or milestones are posted. All right. So let's get some questions. This is your opportunity to ask the project team any questions you may like about this project. All right, here's a question. Does this project design impact any trees?
I can answer that, Ryan.
Okay.
So the project will likely impact some trees, especially particularly those that are currently within the existing medians. We will certainly try and avoid as much as we can, and certainly that interface the existing right of way. But these trees within the medians will likely be impacted due to the provision of, as we say, those median improvements, and also too to accommodate a temporary traffic control phasing, the sequencing of construction in order to keep traffic going through the corridor while this facility is being constructed. But of course, those trees that will be displaced, they will effectively, we have a plan of through the coordination with the city's arborist, and of course with the landscape architect, as far as providing new trees within the corridor. And that work is forthcoming in terms of the design and layout of that.
Thank you for sharing that. All right. Next question. We have a question about the median cuts. When will the proposed median cuts be presented? What are the considerations regarding existing curb cuts and the impact on businesses? Not sure who can answer that one.
Okay, Ron, I'll try to answer a little bit on this one. We are currently at 30%. I mean, we're trying to adjust the design based on the presented scope. We're about at the 30%. So that work about median cut will forthcoming. We don't have that information yet, but we will have that later on in the design process.
Thank you, Sherry. All right, our next question. Will the signals along the corridor be interconnected to help with the continuous flow of traffic?
Yes, that will be the intent.
All right, thank you. All right, I have a question about the sidewalk. Will the sidewalk expansion affect properties owned by businesses on Fondren?
I will ask where you are to answer that question. We have some corner clips we may need to acquire, but majority of the corridor should be reconstructed within the existing right-of-way.
Thank you for the answer. All right. So we got a question about the design phase. Why does it take 2 years, and what's included in the design phase?
Would you like me to take this, Sherry, or?
Sure, go ahead.
So within the design phase, there is a lot of collaboration and coordination that goes on, not just with the city of Houston, but other partnering agencies, including for this project, the Texas Department of Transportation and other agencies, including Metro and others as well. So some of that design time a lot of that design time, quite frankly, takes into account required review times from these various agencies. The project design will not only be reviewed by the City of Houston, but also by TxDOT and other agents to ensure, again, that the design is compliant and provides the best possible means of addressing the issues that are out there and really providing a good product and good for the general public.
Thank you. All right. We have a couple of questions from a user in reference to like a very, very specific location. So we'll get back to you, Etan, on those questions that you're asking about these very, very specific locations. So we'll make sure you leave your email so that we can look into those questions for you. All right. All right, do we have any other questions? Let's see. All right. Well, that wraps up our Q&A session for this meeting. On behalf of Houston Public Works, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to Mayor Pro Tem Martha Castex-Tatum and the entire District K staff. Thank you for your support. Thank you, Dee Dee Chavis, for giving us words from the council member. Also, I want to thank the project team and the public engagement team. And most importantly, you, our community members and stakeholders, for taking the time to join us tonight. Until next time, have a great night. Thank you.